All right, all right, all right. Evening, friends. Welcome back. Get my computer set up here. How's everybody doing? We are doing the week in review, as it is Monday. Trying to stick to some kind of a schedule. One of these days, I will add another regular feature and learn how to use my computer. There we go. Yes, welcome back. Cheers. Coffee of the day. Death Wish, which, if I'm honest, I'm starting to get tired of. If anybody has any suggestions on a good coffee to go after, drop it in the comments. Okay, so a little housekeeping. What am I sampling today? I am sampling two of Peter Carter's earliest releases from Centauri. This one is Gaia, and I've only had these on for a couple of hours, but so far I'm digging Gaia. Gaia I didn't know that I would like, but there is the curious note of soil, very earthy soil note in here that I'm a fan of. I don't know why. I have Night Flyer from Olympic Orchids, which I'm a big fan of, and uh, he's got that in here, and it kind of works with some of the florals. And there is a very nice tuberose in here. Um, and I'm finding some reason I've been attracted to tuberose over the last few months. Never thought that'd be a note that I could get into, but that Vici leather that I showed last week from Electimus has a beautiful tuberose note in it. Richard James Savile Row. I'm over the moon about that fragrance, which has a beautiful tuberose note in it. Okay, so Proxima is the other one I'm sampling. And jury's still out on this one. If I'm being honest, it's fresh, it's clean, it's aldehydes. Not getting anything stick out too much. I'm gonna have to give these time. I'm getting a little bit of a animalic musk coming through, but I'm nowhere close to even commenting on these because what I'm learning from Peter's fragrances are they last a long time. I'm not kidding. I'm not just saying that. These last a long time. So I don't even think I'm in the mid on either of these yet. So it's premature to say anything about them. But so far that Gaia is nice. I don't know that I like it better than Dendera or Ohm that I just sampled recently. But I'll circle back to them and let you know. That elixir that I put on my hand the other day, I got well into the next day after a shower and it was still pumping off my hand. I was like, what was that? I didn't put any fragrance on and I couldn't figure out what was wafting in my face, and it was the it was the elixir. Um, okay, so that's out of the way. Okay, this week I went with an incense theme. You'd think that's maybe a little heavy for the summer, but it kind of rained on and off all week, so it kind of worked. Being inside in the air conditioning, these kind of worked really well. The first one that I went with is Issey Miyake's or Incense, and this is 2017. This is Christian Renault. Um, this is a rich and resinous, dark, slick, uh, brooding incense. Nothing really sticks out. It's a fairly linear fragrance, but it's interesting. Um, I dig this. There's a tiny bit of sweetness to this. Is it synthetic? Yeah, it's a little on the synthetic side, but I'd go after something like this if I were going to wear something out an easy reach for a night out, maybe in a cooler weather. Obviously, I'd reach for something like this before I reached for something like this, Sauvage. Now I don't hate Sauvage, but it gets a little boring after a while. That black pepper and ambroxan kind of, you know, I don't know. It just doesn't keep my interest. I guess starting out, that's an awesome fragrance, but I guess the deeper into it you get, you look for things to keep your attention and things to keep your interest peaked. I had that out because I'm kind of thinking of future week themes, and I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet, if anything. Okay, Monday night I went with this. This is from the House of L'Occitane, and I've really been enjoying this one. This is Odabo. This is a little on the linear side, but I don't think that's a bad thing. What's there that lasts through? Cardamom, incense, cypress. Really nice. The cardamom is phenomenal in this. It gets sweetened up a little bit in the base by vanilla, but this is nice. This is a 2006 release. Karine Dubrel Sereni. Yeah, good stuff. I like that. That's another easy reach fragrance. So Monday, I didn't have to think too much about my fragrances. Tuesday, or no, yeah, where are we? Tuesday. Okay, Tuesday I went with something that is climbing the charts of my favorite fragrances, rising up the top 100. I'm starting to loosely put together a list of my 100 favorite fragrances in my collection, which is not an easy feat. This is Fahrenheit Absolute. This is a 2009 Francois Demachet. He really did something here. I mean, it's clearly Fahrenheit, but the violet seems darker, more brooding, and myrrh and incense are driving the whole thing. This is probably the best from the line. I don't say probably, it is the best from the line in my opinion. Now I haven't tried summer or 0 degrees or 32, so I can't officially say it's my favorite from the line, but it's becoming one of my favorites in my collection. Never mind from the line. If you ever get a chance, don't pass it up. That is a good fragrance. Okay, so Wednesday we went with a house that I'm a big fan of, and this is Histoire de Parfums. And let's see if I can get this right. This is Prolixa. Am I holding that right? Oh, there we are. Prolixa. Prolixa is a 2017 release from a perfumer that is becoming one of my favorites. I'm really enjoying his work. Julian Rascanet. This is it's got a really great opening. It's cinnamon, ginger, and cardamom. I wish it lasted a little bit longer because it quickly dives into patchouli, incense, tobacco, and I think they're both, all three of them are kind of driving the rest of the fragrance for the rest of the way. They're supposedly oud in this. I don't get any oud, and I've seen people say it's a rose oud. I don't think that's even close to being right. The the three notes that I just mentioned, the incense, the tobacco, and the patchouli, drive the show, but there's a slightly fruity rose that kind of dances around in the background that keeps those dark notes going too far. But this is a very intense fragrance. What I found this wearing is that after like 4 or 5 hours, I'm starting to get sick of it. It's such an intense fragrance that you're like, all right, that's enough. You want it to quit. Um, but it's a good fragrance. I'm a big fan of that house. I still have a number of Histoire de Parfums to pick up. Okay, what's next? Thursday. I went with maybe the best incense fragrance. maybe one of the best from this house. Certainly one of my favorites. It's going to be near the top of my my top 100 for sure. This is Incense Mythique de Orient. This is the older packaging, and let me tell you, I don't know what the newer one smells like. I've heard it smells good, and there's not a real drop off, but this one is amazing. There's the aldehydes and rose, kind of seasoned with a saffron up top. But the real star of the show for with this one for me is the incense and the ambergris in the base. Um, I wouldn't I wouldn't be I wouldn't be at all shocked if they were using real ambergris. This is a freaking amazing fragrance. Um, anybody has any anybody has any idea about the newer one in the the new collection? How it stacks up to this? Let me know. I've seen it around and I've always thought about picking it up, and I'm like, if it's exactly the same, I don't want to get it. But if it's different and has something else to offer, then yeah, maybe. I don't know. That's obviously 2012 Terry Wasser, if I didn't say that. Okay, Friday. Friday, I went with something a little lighter and easier. This is a very good fragrance. I don't know why I don't pull for it more, but this is a 2000 release, Annick Minardo's Body Kouros by Yves Saint Laurent. And this is one of the earlier bottles. This is a really nice fragrance. This is eucalyptus and incense. Somehow they figured out how to make this. There's a little bit of benzoin to kind of sweeten it up, but they've somehow figured out how to make incense fresh. And this is a butte on a hot day. Body Kouros. That's I need to be pulling more for that in the heat. I didn't wear anything else that day. It's just how good it was. I reapplied it again at like 5 o'clock. I was like, man, this is good. I forgot how good this is. Okay, Saturday. What did I wear Saturday? Saturday I went with an old favorite. And the bottle is starting to dwindle, and it's starting to worry me. This is a love of mine. This is Timbuktu, and look at that level. It's getting down there. Starting to get worried. Timbuktu is Bertrand Duchefort, another one of my favorite noses. 2004 this was released. It's mango, cardamom, incense, papyrus, patchouli, myrrh. And there's something, I don't know if it's the vetiver, but there's this sweet and sour tartness that comes in towards the base. Very peculiar. I don't know. I don't know what's doing that. What's making that peculiar sour, almost savory kind of. It's like mango and papyrus and vetiver kind of melding into this very curious smell. And man, this is a good fragrance. It's not just unique and artistic, but it's man, it smells fantastic. Okay. I went with another fragrance that vetiver, that weird sour kind of sour sweet vetiver thing. I kept thinking in my mind I've smelled that somewhere before, and I figured it out. I put this on for the second half of the day, and this is Ankara Noir à l'extrême. And this is this has that same, I mean, it's vetiver up and down, but it's got incense in it, and it's got that rich sour kind of semi-sweet kind of a note that's in Timbuktu. Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm the only one, but yeah, towards the base I get that same kind of curious, bitter vetiver sweetness. I don't know how to explain it. I really don't. Maybe I'm just talking shit, but um, I drew some similarities between this and that. Both fantastic fragrances. That may be the Alexstrem might be my favorite from that line. The Ankara Noir is fantastic, but it's so intense. You have to really be in the mood. I think it's more of a really cold weather fragrance. Okay, last but certainly not least, I went shopping and went to the back of the cabinet and pulled out one that I haven't worn in a long time. And this is from Daniel Hechter, and this is called Character. And this is a 1989 release. Alain Verjou, I think his name is. Um, this is a serious fragrance. This is herbal and spicy, almost almost a burnt cigarette up top, and then with artemisia, caraway. There's all kinds of craziness in this, jasmine, and um, it's got carnation, spicy carnation in the mid, and then it just continues to descend into darkness. This fragrance, there's there's all kinds of there's pepper and geranium and what is it? I think I've written some of them down. Incense, leather, patchouli, castoreum, oak moss. This is a man's man fragrance. This is no holds barred. Um, it starts off like uh, a little easy, but then that burnt cigarette tobacco kind of a vibe comes straight comes straight up from the mid, um, and moves the artemisia, the spices, the caraway, moves that out of the way, and the geranium and the I feel like there's anise in here too, but I could be wrong. And then this just keeps getting darker and darker and darker the longer it wears. Great fragrance if you're not familiar with it. Daniel Hechter's Character. Uh, I need to pull for this again in the winter. It was rainy and some of these did work, kind of being inside in the air conditioner. But the thing I've learned is that some of these are just simply cold weather fragrances. So yeah, that's that. There's my week in review. I finally got through a video without having to turn it off and start over. Um, as usual, if there's anything you can teach me about anything I've shown you, any information on any of these fragrances, different directions to look in, coffee that I should look into, drop it in the comments. I always look forward to the interaction in the comments. Y'all have a great night. Stay grateful. Peace.